What we're going to do here is wet shim this wall. We can take these Kerdi board pieces out of the way. And when we put our straight edge across, watch the light. When we put our straight edge across, we'll see daylight at the studs between where the straight edge doesn't make contact with all the studs evenly, and that's what our issue is. I mean, we can kind of come, I mean, you see there's eighths, maybe a little over an eighth there. The same thing on the far one. As we go up the wall, it's a little bit better, but there's still gaps. And so that's the purpose of wet shimming, is to fill that void with thin set mortar and make the wall really, really flat. So we're going to take and put a bead of mortar along the entire edge of the stud, and then we'll push the Kerdi board in place. We'll use the straight edge to make sure that it all stays nice and true. And once we get that done, we'll tack it on with a couple screws, and tomorrow we'll finish mounting the board entirely, and then we'll band over everything, and we'll have a nice, really flat wall to bond to and no problems. So that's the purpose of wet shimming. Are you just burning it in? Mm-hmm. So you're not going to leave anything on there to bond to.
Yeah. I won't do anything.
That's fine. In this particular application, we are using a modified thin set mortar. It's the same mortar we used to set this Ditra, which we literally just got done installing the Ditra here just a few minutes ago. It does not matter if you use modified or unmodified for wet shimming. All that matters is that it's mud. The non-modified still sticks to the back of the Kerdi board. And so we use a lot of Schluter set for most of our installs, and so the shim isn't going to go away. It's not going to fall out. It'll stick to the back of the Kerdi board good, and we have some videos or some experience pulling the Schluter set back off the walls, and we know that it bonds like crazy to the back of our Kerdi board, so it does make for a good shim. So we'll get this all put together. It does see, I am going to probably leave this in full time, just because, I mean, it's not going to take that long. So about 5 or 6 minutes here after you're ready to put it up, and then a couple more minutes to install. So it's a good time investment. I find leaving this at real time will just reiterate that this is a good thing. It doesn't take a lot of time, but man, it will make a big difference on your actual final install. So it's well worth the few minutes. And we do want to get both boards kind of up and kind of pushed in place before we start tacking it off to make sure that the seams stay nice and true with everything. And then we'll push them both in together, and that should be it. Yeah, screws are right there behind you. Kind of all over the place with the camera here, I apologize. But we'll kind of get it tacked on, and then we'll use our straight edge here. And you'll see how flat we get this wall. And that's what we want to see. No daylight at all between the level and the wall anywhere. And we'll just keep working it in and working it in until we get it perfectly flat. And so that makes this wall just as perfect as if it was a mud wall. And then we're going to probably want to take and tack in a couple of washers just to help hold it in place a little bit. But we're not going to screw it off completely right now. We'll come back tomorrow and finalize it. And same way there, you can see how nice and flat and true the corner is. Well, the framing may not allow us to get perfectly plumb. So there it is. Put a couple tacks in it here pretty quick. We have a really nice flat surface to bond our tile to. The whole thing took less than, well, about 10 minutes, give or take. So again, 10 minutes can make a world of difference on your tile job as well. So I would highly recommend not skipping it.
might just do those. That'll probably be enough.
Yeah, it ain't gonna take a whole lot to hold it.
It's already holding.
Yeah. I mean, and then tomorrow we'll just come back and kind of finalize it. It's pretty daggone flat, man. There it is. We'll double check it again before we start banding it tomorrow, but that should get us pretty good.